The Cape League season is starting on its home stretch. Just over 10 days remaining in the Cape League regular season as we start to turn the page towards the end of July. And two teams meeting tonight here at White House Field in Harwich in the midst of a playoff hunt. The YD Red Sox coming into tonight in second place in the Eastern Division, looking for the Eastern Division crown, and Harwich in a dogfight amidst the bottom of the division to reach the playoffs. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast. I'm Brian McLaughlin. Alongside me is Andre Sims. Andre, should be a good one tonight. Harwich has won a couple straight. YD coming off a loss, but both teams a lot to play for. The Red Sox, as I said, sitting 2 points back of Chatham in the Eastern Division, and Harwich just got out of the basement passing Brewster after a win against the Whitecaps earlier this week. Two teams with just over 10 games to go, still plenty to play for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it all season that this Eastern Division has just been beating up on itself time after time after time. It's without a doubt the deeper of the two divisions on the Cape this season. And so with, like you said, a little over 10 games left to go, there's not a ton of separation, even between first and last. And so when you look at it, the seeding is absolutely up in the air right now. You have no idea where this could shake up, what the matchup is going to be for any of these teams come playoff time in a couple of weeks. And for this Harwich team, whether or not they're even going to make the playoffs. We've seen Brewster have the ability to get hot, really go on a tear. We've seen the same thing from this Harwich team when their pitching really gets on a tear. So a lot of moving parts here through the remainder of this season. It'll be fun to watch.
Starting pitching matchup tonight is going to be Eric Tolman for the Red Sox and Antonio Menendez out of Wake Forest for the Mariners. Harwich, one of the best pitching staffs on the Cape, leading the league in ERA. Meanwhile, YD has had an explosive offense all season long, Andre. You look at these two pitchers, Tolman, the southpaw from ASU, has been in the starting rotation all season, and Menendez comes in with a 3.43 ERA. Should be a pretty solid matchup on the mound.
Yeah, and you look at Eric Tolman, his season has been getting better. I mean, you scratched the one start against Brewster where he struggled, but even then, a lot of the runs that he gave up were unearned. He was getting hit around a lot, but his last start was absolutely incredible. 5 2/3 was by far the best we've seen him pitch. He was attacking hitters. He was attacking the zone. You saw the strikeouts numbers were there, and most importantly, no walks in that outing for him. And facing an offense that's a little top-heavy, and once you get past 1 through 4, 1 through 5, definitely weakens. I think this is a favorable matchup for him, and we've seen these two teams go at it, and their two pitchers have absolute pitchers duel. We saw Jack Leftwich and Buddy Hayward go toe-to-toe earlier in the season right here.
When you look at this Harwich team, they are in the midst of really fighting for a playoff spot. When you look at how this team has to approach these last couple, about 10 games left, just over 10 games for them. They're trying to make the playoffs. What is their approach looking like down the stretch?
It has to be timely offense. You know the pitching is going to be there. You know the pitching is going to put you in a position to allow you to win games. But in talking to Tyler Henry, one of the Harwich broadcasters, he tells me all the time, it's like all of a sudden the offense will switch off and it's a 1-1, 2-1 game, and all of a sudden they can't get a hit from the 6th to the 9th inning. And so it has to be more sustained, consistent offense. Otherwise, the pitching is only going to hold up for so long.
I mean, you look at Nico Cavanas leading the league in home runs, Joey Wiemer, 3.21 or 321 batting average. There are 3 all-star starters in this lineup. Where else does the production have to come from?
You know, it's funny. It's kind of a parallel to where YD was at an earlier point in the season, where it has to come from the bottom of the order. You look at the order today, 1 through 5 all hovering around 275 or higher, but the minute you get to Dylan Noyes, you get 6. It's 136, 161, 170, and 161. That's not the kind of production that you need top to bottom in your order in order to really be successful. And at this point, it's not just about winning one game. You can't split wins and losses at this point and expect to really gain any ground. You got to put some wins together if you're Harwich. And so kind of hard to do that when the bottom half of your order is all hitting below 200.
For YD, it feels like the Red Sox have been 2 points back of Chatham for months. They sit at 38 points, Chatham at 40. What does this offense have to do in this team to try to catch the Anglers down the stretch here who have seemingly just mirrored YD?
Yeah, it feels like YD themselves can't really put together a winning streak. They'll get 2, maybe 3 in a row, and then it'll stop there. But I think the good thing about this offense is they're getting a little bit of an injection of fresh blood, so to speak.
Yeah.
they were a team. I mean, obviously, when you're playing 20 games in a row, that's going to take a toll on you. And now with Ron Washington, who, I mean, I know it's only BP, but has looked very impressive in BP. Carson Taylor, another guy who's been swinging the bat well in the cages. I think having an injection of fresh energy, fresh legs into this order is going to help them a lot. But I think it's less on the offense. I think it's more on the pitching. The offense has done enough this season to where they should have won more games. If you think about what the offense has done, that sets them up for maybe 3, 4, 5 more wins had the bullpen not given away leads late, given away leads in the middle of the game. So I think it's less on the offense and more on if this bullpen can get right.
Harwich NYD set to face off in just about 5 minutes of time. We'll be back in a few for the lineups and first pitch coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back in Harwich, Massachusetts, just about set for first pitch between the Mariners and the Red Sox. Harwich out on the field today behind their starting right-hander Antonio Menendez from Wake Forest. Menendez an 0-2 record, 3.43 ERA on the season for the Mariners. It's his third start of the season, sixth appearance out on the hill. Offense tonight for YD lines up as follows. Wyatt Young is in the top spot from Pepperdine at shortstop. Brad Beasley, who has been scorching hot, remains in the 2 spot from Cal Poly. Austin Wells bats third from Arizona. Noah Campbell in at second base today, bats in the cleanup spot. Jake Palmer bats fifth. Riley King sixth at third base. Jack Thomas Wold, 2 home runs in the last week for him, bats seventh from UNLV. Carson Taylor, eighth, the designated hitter from Virginia Tech. And Ron Washington rounds out the order. He's an outfielder out of Pitt. He'll play left field tonight. Wyatt Young set to get things started. White uniforms for the Red Sox. It's their white alternates with the blue stripe up the sides, blue numbers. Here's the first pitch from Menendez. Lined, diving stop on the backhand by Lanzilli at first. Race to the bag, not in time. Wyatt Young beats Lanzilli to first. Menendez didn't cover. Young hit a line drive to the right side of the infield. A great stop by the first baseman Lanzilli on a short hop, but he couldn't beat Young to the base, and it's a leadoff single for Wyatt Young here in the first.
Yeah, that's why you hustle down the line right away. A leadoff base runner for YD. Also a bit of kind of hold your breath there on one of those moments as Lanzilli kind of went in feet first on a slide. You worry about the knee, the ankle there buckling as you try to stab the bag on the slide.
Now Menendez, the 6'4" righty, throws from a bit of a sidearm position. First pitch to Brad Beasley. Misses upstairs for ball 1. First pitch came in at 5:31 tonight, 76 and sunny here in Harwich. Menendez from the stretch now with Young on first. Beasley at the plate. Hits it in the air on the 1-0 into right field. The right fielder, Wiemer, shading his eyes. He'll make the catch and relay it back to the infield. It's a fly out from Beasley for the first out of tonight's ball game on a fly out to right. 1 down now for Austin Wells.
Number 16, the catcher from the University of Arizona.
Young stays at first. Menendez out of Wake Forest has good height, good size on the mound, but as I was saying before, Beasley hit the 1-0 into right, drops down and throws from the sidearm position out there on the mound. Now Wells, the lefty from Arizona, hitting .324. Check on Young at first. He's back with a head first slide. Wells, the starting catcher in the upcoming All-Star game this coming weekend. 6 home runs on the season. It's been a little bit since Wells hit a long ball. Here's the first pitch to Wells. Misses just away to lefty, ball 1. Young, some decent speed on first, 5 for 8 in swiped bags. Shift on here for the Mariner infield. Cavadas, the third baseman, is the only man on the left side. The 1-0. Off speed, misses away to Wells. 2 balls and no strike.
And this is curious. This is something we saw happen when Wells was in the box a couple days ago, was people shifting on him, and it's kind of a head scratcher to me, given the fact that he has such good gap-to-gap power, and he ended up beating the shift and doubled down the left field line on a play that would have been a routine line drive to third base.
Another check on first. Young's back safely. Wells has power to all fields. The Mariners shifting on him here. 1 down, top 1. The 2-0. Lined back up the middle. That's a base hit. Line drive to center. Noisy, the center fielder, picks it up, charging inward. Young advances to second, and it's 2 singles in the first inning for the YD Red Sox. Couple of all-stars, Young and Wells, both aboard. 1 down, now Noah Campbell, the third all-star here in the order to come to bat for the Red Sox in the first. Campbell, the switch hitter from South Carolina, will hit from the left side against Menendez. Campbell hitting .289. First pitch to him. Line through the left side. That's a base hit again. Young churning towards third. He'll be stopped there. The throw comes in from left from Galland. On a hop into the catcher Winkle. 3 hits in the inning for the Red Sox, all sharply struck singles. And they are loaded with 1 down for Jake Palmer. YD crushing Menendez here in the first. No extra bases, but squaring him up. Now Jake Palmer, he's hitting .283. He's been swinging a pretty hot bat as well. Infield stays back for the Mariners. Menendez sets. First pitch. Misses away to Palmer, ball 1. Here's the defensive alignment tonight for the Mariners. Chris Galland in left. Dylan Noisy in center. Joey Wiemer's in right field. Nico Cavadas at the hot corner. Hal Hughes at shortstop. Christian Fedko, the all-star starter, at second. And Chris Lanzilli is at first. Patrick Winkle does the catching. 1-0 to Palmer. Slashed foul and out of play. Now a ball and a strike. Palmer, the left-handed hitting outfielder from UC Irvine. Palmer hitting .286 over the last week, right about his season average. 1-1. Line drive, 1 hopper, backhanded stop by Hal Hughes. Throw to second, 1 relay to first. It's in time. A smooth 6-4-3 double play. What a start by Hal Hughes. The Red Sox leave them loaded. A great turn by Hughes and Fedko up the middle. A scoreless first for the Red Sox. Hughes flashed the leather to end it. Harwich coming to bat in the bottom of the first when we return. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at White House Field in the bottom of the first inning, it is scoreless. Eric Tolman toes the slab for YD as we're set to begin the bottom half of the first. Tolman making his 4th start on the rubber for the Red Sox this summer. His 6th appearance, he enters with a 1-1 record and a 4.15 ERA. The lefties' defense behind him tonight, Ron Washington in left, Brad Beasley in center, Jake Palmer in right. Riley King at third, Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell up the middle. Jack Thomas Wold at first, and Austin Wells will do the catching. The Mariners' offense against Tolman. Daniel Cabrera leads off from LSU. He's an all-star. Chris Galland from Boston College bats second. Christian Fedko is in the 3 spot from UConn at second base. Joey Wiemer is in the cleanup hole out of Cincinnati in right field. Nico Cavadas, the league's home run hitter, bats 5th. Here's the first pitch upcoming to Daniel Cabrera. Wind from Tolman, first pitch to Cabrera. Misses high and tight to the lefty for ball 1. After Cavadas, it's Dylan Noisy batting 6th. He's in center field. Then Chris Lanzilli at first base. The 1-0. Off speed, swung on and missed by Cabrera, and it's a ball and a strike. Patrick Winkle does the catching. He bats 8th. Hal Hughes rounds out the order at shortstop, batting 9th. The 1-1 to Cabrera. Fastball fouled back. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Tolman's ahead. Cabrera hitting .289 with a home run on the season for the Mariners. He's going to be the Eastern Division All-Star starter in right. The 1-0 from Tolman. Breaking ball, fouled back and out of play by Cabrera. Mariners wearing the red uniforms on Red Shirt Friday here at White House Field. Cream pants with red stirrups. Another 1-2. Bounced foul by Cabrera. He spoils another breaking ball from Tolman, and we'll see another 1-2 offering. Shift is on for the Red Sox defense. Young is up the middle at shortstop. Riley King way in the hole at third. Another 1-2. Misses up high. Fastball at the eyes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Off speed. 1 hopper to the second baseman Campbell. He has it, throws from the outfield grass, and retires Daniel Cabrera for the first out in the bottom of the first inning. 4-3 ground out from Cabrera, and now Chris Gallant. Gallant out of Boston College, relatively local, hitting .278. Couple of doubles on the summer. First pitch to Gallant. Fastball in there, waist high, 0-1. Some wind blowing right to left across the outfield tonight. A 1 to Gallant, skips low in the dirt, a ball and a strike. Might help a ball hit in the air to left. Just a few wispy clouds overhead. Beautiful night, however, in Harwich. The 1-1. Swing and a miss over and off speed. After last night's ugly postponement, never got going in Chatham. 1-2 to Gallant. Broken bat up the middle. Wyatt Young charging it short, tries a bare hand. He can't make the play. Jam shot just squeaked past Tolman, trickled up the middle, and that's going to be an infield single for Chris Gallant. The shards of the bat went to the left of the mound, as did the baseball. Tolman flared out his leather, but couldn't reel in the ball. Gallant's aboard with 1 down for the Mariners.
Yeah, not much anyone can do on that play. The bat shattering, put some weird English there on the ball as it just squeaked underneath the bare hand of Wyatt Young out there. It was one of those make or break plays. If you're going to make it, you got to get it absolutely perfect, and there was just really not much there for Wyatt Young to try to make that play. Wisely didn't try to play the hero role and end up throwing it away.
Now Christian Fedko. First pitch, off speed to the righty, stays up high. 1-0. 1 down, bottom of the first, scoreless between the Mariners and the Red Sox. Tolman for the Sox out of the stretch now on the hill. Sets right at the belt. The ball and no strikes to Fedko. The pitch misses just down low. 2 balls and no strikes now to the second baseman for Harwich. YD coming off a loss to Bourne a few days ago. A rain-shortened game in Bourne. Check on first. Back standing is Gallant.
A rain-shortened perfect game at that.
Quite the performance there for Bourne. Tolman, the 2-0. Swing and a miss from Fedko. 2 balls and a strike. We know Bourne can pitch. That's for sure. That's their strength. Currently, the Braves sitting at 4th in the West, but feel pretty safe about their playoff odds. Hyannis has really fallen off, and the Braves look pretty good at the moment. Another check on first, but Gallant back standing. Teams like Harwich and Bourne, 2 pretty good pitching squads, both at 4th in the division, have to think if they can make the playoffs, nobody's going to want to play them. 2-1 to Fedko. Sharply at grounder, right side. Campbell fields to his left. Off balance throw to first. Gets Fedko. Campbell moving the opposite direction of second base. Trailed into the outfield grass. Made a nice running throw to get Fedko. No chance at the double play. Gallant advances to scoring position with 2 down now for Joey Wiemer. Last time these 2 teams met, it was Joey Wiemer who just destroyed the Red Sox with 2 out clutch hitting. He's got an opportunity here with Gallant in scoring position and 2 down.
I had 3 different 2-out RBI singles in that game.
First pitch to Wiemer from Tolman. Misses down and in for ball one. Wiemer hitting .321 this season. 14 RBIs, 4 of them coming in that game against YD. YD would end up winning that contest however. 1-0. Spins Wiemer around. A fastball misses inside. Wiemer, all the weight on his front foot, just ended up twirling out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. Campbell directly up the middle. Massive hole on the right side for Wiemer with Wolds pretty straight away at first. Here's the 2-0. Popped up, back out of play. 2 balls and a strike. There is a base open, but you have to imagine Tolman would honestly rather attack Wiemer than Nico Cavadas. 8 home runs, 25 ribbies waiting on deck. Long pause, the 2-1. Fastball misses inside again. 3 balls and a strike. Scoreless bottom of the first here between YD and Harwich. Wiemer an awkward stance, slightly open, straight up and down. 3-1. Fastball poured in for strike 2, and the count is full with 2 down to Joey Wiemer. Holds his hands in his stance up above his batting helmet, almost straight up and down, vertical. Now Wells going to go out and have a visit with Tolman out there on the hill. Probably just how to attack Wiemer here.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's not like Eric Tolman's really missing his spots overwhelmingly so, and it's not wild. They're not getting mixed up on signs. Just a quick, hey, what do you want to do here?
Southpaw Tolman to the righty Wiemer. 2 down, bottom of the first. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Rick Emerson wants time. Wasn't quite ready. Tolman has to step off. Now everybody's ready. Tolman comes set. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball, popped up, foul, and out of play, and we'll do it again. Trust in the curveball there to go after Wiemer with the full count. YD left 2 men in scoring position in their top of the first inning. Couldn't get it done. 3-2. Wiemer fouls it off again. Runner going on the pitch, Galland. It's not forced to go. 3-2, 2 outs. Nobody on first, so still a risk there. Whitey had the bases loaded with 1 out for Jake Palmer. Sharply hit one hopper that Hal Hughes made a great backhanded stop on at second, going down to his side before initiating the 6-4-3 double play. Here's the 3-2 again. Fouled off again. Quite the battle here between Tolman and Wiemer. Tolman ready to go again. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Tolman gets Wiemer. First strikeout of the night for Tolman on the hill. He wins the battle, and both teams leave runners in scoring position in the first. Scoreless after 1. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second inning, King, Wold, and Taylor due up for the Red Sox against Antonio Menendez. As we begin the top of the second, 0-0 between the Mariners and the Red Sox. First pitch to Riley King. Fastball misses inside to King for ball one. Righty-righty matchup here between Menendez and King. Menendez worked from the windup. Here's the 1-0. King, hard hit ball, one hopper right at the shortstop Hughes. Gobbles it up, sidearms to first, and retires Riley King. Man, another ball hit right on the nose by somebody on this Red Sox offense. They've been squaring up Menendez early. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, but they are really on time right now.
And it's one of those things where it kind of feels like it's a matter of time for this YD offense. They have games where they just look to be a little bit more locked in. And as frustrating as the off day was for most all involved, given that the team did arrive all the way in Chatham before that game got postponed, I feel like the rest has sort of rejuvenated the legs in this lineup a little bit.
First pitch breaking ball, and over the top breaking ball from Menendez, fouled back by Wold. It's 0-1. Jack Wold from UNLV, he provided the back breaking blow the last time these two teams met. The 0-1. Hard hit ground ball right at the first baseman Lanzilli. He'll flip to the covering Menendez, and there's the second out. Quick 2 outs for the Red Sox here in the second. But the last time these two teams faced off, YD was trailing Harwich going into the 8th, 4-1. Pushed across 1 run with runners on second and third, 1 out. Harwich went to their go-to man out of the pen, fireballer Joe Boyle. YD countered with Jack Wold. Wold catches up with the fastball and launched it over the right field wall back at Red Wilson.
First pitch, too.
First pitch, and that put YD up for good. Now the first pitch to Carson Taylor. Fastball misses inside for ball one. Taylor making his second appearance for the Red Sox, the switch hitting catcher from Virginia Tech. Also plays some first base. Designated hitter tonight. 1-0. Misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes to Taylor. Taylor, the switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the righty Menendez. 2 down, top of the second, 0-0. The 2-0. Fastball catches the outer edge to Taylor. 2 balls and a strike. Taylor, and then on deck, Ron Washington Jr. from Pitt. Couple new additions to YD. 2-1, ground ball, left side. Moving to his left, the shortstop Hal Hughes fields and throws and retires Taylor. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the second. It's Cavadas, Noisy, and Lanzilli due up for the Mariners. Coming up next, this is Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second inning, we're scoreless between the YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners. Harwich coming to bat in the home half of the second here against Eric Tolman. Nico Cavadas is in the batter's box. First pitch to Cavadas, misses high and tight, sends Cavadas limboing backwards out of the way for ball one. Tolman gets it back. Quickly the 1-0. Skied on an off-speed center field. Brad Beasley backtracking a bit in center. Now he backpedals towards the warning track and he makes the catch. That ball just kept going. A towering fly out from Cavadas for the first out here in the bottom of the second. That got up in the bit of wind here, Andre, and just kept going out to center. Beasley kept moving backwards. What looked like a lazy fly ball off the bat had some major carry.
Yeah, the major carry coupled with the fact of the major power of the guy hitting it.
Yeah. First pitch breaking ball in there for strike one to Dylan Noisy. It's 0-1. Cavadas, of course, 8 home runs. He currently leads the Cape League in long balls. 4 in the last week. 0-1 to Noisy. Fastball called strike. It's 0-2 to Noisy. One down, bottom of the second, 0-0. Noisy hitting 136. The 0-2. Fisted foul and out of play. Another 0-2 coming from Tolman. Tolman really has just had one rough start. Aside from that, he has been one of the most consistent arms for the Red Sox, both out of the pen and in the rotation. Another 0-2. Off speed, fouled off. Noisy spoils a breaking ball. We'll see another 0-2 pitch. Last time out, Tolman probably at his best start. Went 5 2/3 against Brewster. The 0-2. Bounced, foul out of the reach of Wells, who tried to jump up and grab it, but it hopped over his head. 3 straight foul balls from Noisy with 0-2 counts. The right-handed hitter from Texas Tech, speedster in center field for the Mariners. Another 0-2. Breaking ball, just off the plate inside. A ball and 2 strikes. Every game important for the Mariners at this point in a playoff battle. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Tolman sits Noisy down with the fastball, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the second. But Harwich, 3 points up on Brewster. We'll keep you updated throughout the night on other Cape League scores. The Whitecaps and the Chatham Anglers are also facing off, so that one probably has the most impact on these 2 teams. Whitey trailing Chatham by 2 in the division race. Now the first pitch to Chris Lanzilli. 2-hopper to the third baseman, Riley King. Crow hops, low throw to first, but it gets to Jack Thomas Wold in time to get Chris Lanzilli. The Mariners go down in order in the second. We're scoreless through 2 innings of play here in Harwich. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Washington.
Top of the third inning here at White House Field. It's a beautiful evening here in Harwich, Massachusetts after just an ugly day yesterday across Cape Cod, and then saw all 5 games get canceled as Ron Washington, set to make his debut in the batter's box for YD this season, steps in, playing left field tonight, plays his baseball in the spring at the University of Pittsburgh. And he is quickly ahead 2-0. This Red Sox offense has struck it well against Antonio Menendez through the first two frames, but nothing to show for it. A lot of hard hit balls, and had it not been for what has been already a great defensive game from Hal Hughes at shortstop, this would be a much different complexion to this game.
That's why Hal Hughes is in there. He's a really good defensive shortstop. He's not going to swing it all that well, hitting just 161, but the guy's going to make just about every play out there.
Washington listed at 6'1", 215. Has just a strong physical frame.
He's put together. He's a strong kid up there at the plate. Really good bat speed. The ball jumps off his bat.
This might be a bit of a stretch, but when the first time I saw him, it kind of got, as that one is absolutely ripped into center field, and that's a base hit. Washington is 1 for 1 in his YD career, and it's a leadoff runner on for YD in the third.
Yep, line drive from Washington. We're going to see a lot of that, I think. He squares the ball up and hits it really hard to all fields. Haven't seen him display a whole lot of power to clear the wall yet, but we're going to see a lot of line drives to the gaps, I think.
You can just see the strength in the biceps and the thighs. Kind of has that Bo Jackson-esque level of just physical stature.
Yep, just really put together. Good athlete.
So now Wyatt Young steps back in for his second at-bat, led off the game with the infield single. His first pitch to him is a called strike, and it's 0-1. I'll check on Washington over at first. He's back with the dive. Just 2 career stolen bases for Washington, both coming in his freshman season in 2018. And it's now 1-1 to Wyatt Young.
Yeah, 0 for 2 in stolen base attempts this year at Pitt. We'll see if he moves it on the base paths. I'd be shocked. Don't want to risk running into an out with this part of the lineup coming up.
And that one gets away, and Washington will advance to second, take a wide turn, and Pickler's sending him, and he will be in there easily with the slide. He goes first to third on the errant pickoff throw, and now Wyatt Young's got an RBI chance with nobody out in the top of the third.
Just a weird play. Menendez soft-tossed it over towards first base, just eased up on it, almost then hooked it towards second base. And as Washington dove back in head first, and then the first baseman Lanzilli tried to move towards the ball, Washington took out Lanzilli. There was the big frame for you. And Lanzilli then unable to get up and chase the ball. Washington got up probably a little bit quicker and able to go first to third.
So all that ends up with Wyatt Young getting an RBI spot here in his second AB. As he flares the 1-1 pitch foul and out of play, and it's 1-2.
Infield's coming in as well for Wyatt. I mean, he's a smart hitter and can control the bat pretty well. You know, he's trying to elevate the baseball, just squeeze it through the infield.
Wyatt Young's still second in the league in hitting behind Zach DeLoach of Falmouth. Came in today hitting .359, 15 RBI on the season, looking for RBI number 16 right now.
Wyatt's cooled off a little bit, too. He's not even as red hot as he was a few weeks ago, and he's still second in the league.
That one's sliced foul and out of play on the left field line, and it remains 2-2. Yeah, it's always funny when you talk about a hitter and you can say the average has dipped down to 359. Yeah. It really is a testament to where Wyatt Young has played this entire season, really.
Yeah. I'm sure the Falmouth broadcasters are saying Zach DeLoach has dipped to 378.
Another foul ball as Wyatt Young spoils another one off the left side, and it's still 2-2. As Zach DeLoach been on an absolute tear, struggled against this YD team a few games back, an 0 for 3 night, and what was just an all-around rough game for Falmouth in that contest. Wyatt Young still in the box, choking up as he always does Count even, 2-2. That one's through the hole on the left side, and it's an RBI single for Wyatt Young. In comes Ron Washington to score, and it's 1-0 Red Sox here in the third.
Great job by Wyatt Young. Just served it through the left side of the infield. Got a pitch down in the zone, probably on the outer half there, and just went with it. Knew he didn't have to hit it all that hard and did his job. Once again, Wyatt Young coming through with runners in scoring position. He's been one of the best in the league with that. And while he's not a big extra base hitter, that's why his RBI numbers are good, is because he comes up with runners in scoring position and he gets the job done.
So now Brad Beasley will step in. Flew out to right field in his first AB. First pitch to him is downstairs. On deck is Austin Wells, sporting a brand new Fu Manchu. Must say, it takes a certain kind of person to rock the Fu Manchu.
I think the whole team has to go mustaches for playoffs.
On the ground left side, Cavadas to second for one. On to first. Not in time as Beasley beats it out on the back end. And I would agree. I think some creative facial hair from the entire team would do excellent for the team's mojo.
Wells has been telling the likes of John Beller, Brady Corrigan especially, that he's going to go mustache. He had the great beard for a while. I don't think they expected this extreme. Jake Palmer also with the mustache. So I think really instead of like a playoff beard like hockey, it's got to be the playoff mustache for this group.
I would completely agree. Now one out here in the inning. Beasley waits on first as he's replaced Wyatt Young on the fielder's choice. First pitch to Austin Wells is low and away for a ball, 1-0.
The lack of beard just changes how Wells looks, though. It's wild.
It's very true.
When it's where his beard was, he's had it all summer. It's paler. It's not as tan as the rest of his face.
He's got to even out the face tan now.
It's just it threw me off a little bit the first time I saw it.
A Fu Manchu is really something that you have to commit to.
He committed,
and he went all in, and you got to respect him for it. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Menendez, and that one's roped the other way to right field, and that's pushing Gallen back, but he makes the catch on the run going back towards the corner, and that's the second out of the inning.
Good swing by Wells, squared that one up, going the other way, and just a good catch by Gallen, relatively right at him. I think you can tell Wells seeing the ball pretty well right now at the plate at a clean single back up the middle, and when he's driving the ball the other way, that's when you know he's on the baseball.
So now Noah Campbell will step in with 2 down here in the inning. Beasley still waits on first. South Carolina product batting from the left side. Got 17 RBI on the season. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike on the off-speed offering. It's 0-1.
I haven't really seen Noah drive the baseball in a while. I think this team would love to see him hit for power. He's swinging it well and squaring the ball up, but not with that same authority deep in the ballpark as he was early, especially in June.
Check over on Beasley. He's back easily. The extra base ability that we've seen so often, so prevalent from Noah Campbell in the first half of the season has dipped down a little bit. That one's chopped foul at the plate, and it's 0-2.
Well, he hit a home run in just his third game this summer for YD, and he homered most recently July 5th. So it's been about 2 weeks since his last homer. Last extra base hit came on July 10th. It was a triple, so it's almost been a week and a half since he had an extra base hit.
Behind 0-2 is the Gamecock. That one's low and away from the submarine approach from Menendez, and it's now 1-2.
He's been switching up that arm angle. Sometimes he goes straight over the top with the breaking ball. But I don't think that pitch is one he likes to throw that much, and it's easy to pick up for these hitters.
Campbell batting from the left side against the righty Menendez. Beasley runs. Chopped through the hole on the right side as it gets underneath the dive of Chris Lanzilli, and Beasley will go first to third. And he is held up there by Scott Pickler, and it's another 2-out RBI opportunity for Jake Palmer.
Pick was thinking about sending Beasley home from third right there. He was walking him down the line. The hit and run was on, and it worked well right there. And Wiemer, because that ball ticked off the glove of Lanzilli on the dive, it slowed down in really shallow right field, so Wiemer had to run a long way to pick it up. There was a thought there to send Beasley and make Wiemer make the throw to the plate. That would have been fascinating to watch.
So now Jake Palmer once again with an RBI opportunity, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first. Lays down the button. It's a great one up the third base line, and it'll just tick foul. Beasley was in to score easily as Palmer was about 2/3 up the line before it just rolled foul.
Yeah, that's brutal. It was tickling that chalk line the whole way up. That would have been incredible if it had been able to stay fair, but good job by Menendez and then Cavadas, who eventually snatched it once it got into foul territory.
That's one of those where all it takes is a clumped up piece of chalk or a little rock somewhere and it stays fair.
Yep.
Right. It was skirting right up the third base line. So now 2 strikes to Jake Palmer. As that one is downstairs. Riley King waits on deck, the Georgia Bulldog. So actually the count is 1-1. Scoreboard operator had it wrong.
I did the same thing you did, but then a double take. I thought the bunt was on the first pitch. There we go.
1-1 the count. The UC Irvine Anteater playing right field tonight. Time is called at the plate. Beasley's on third. Noah Campbell's on first. Jake Palmer in the dish looking to extend the YD lead here to 2-0. You have to figure both runners going on the pitch, a ball in the gap could potentially score Campbell as well on the back end. Jake Palmer looks at a pitch down and in, and it's now 2-1.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here for pick because you have great speed with both runners and good speed and pretty good handler of the bat at the plate. You can go hit and run potentially. You could try to throw on a bunt again, even if you think Palmer can get one down. You could even steal Campbell, maybe a double steal potentially with Beasley. There's a lot of potential options that Harwich has to look out for.
2-1. So that one's an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now with 2 strikes, coming off a breaking ball. Be interesting to see if Menendez goes back to that breaking ball and if Campbell reads that and tries to take off. Usually the breaking ball is low, tougher pitch to throw on. He could take second.
2-2. That one's in the dirt. Blocked well by Winkle behind the plate, and the count's full.
Now Campbell's going to be moving on the pitch, 3-2, 2 outs. So you're now, especially if there's a ball in the gap, Campbell's going to be booking it.
Outfield's pretty straight away. Left field line is open for Jake Palmer should he choose to use it. Payoff pitch up coming from Menendez. That one is downstairs, and Palmer with a good at-bat works a walk. So for the second time in 3 innings, the Red Sox have the bases loaded and 2 down, and now the responsibility falls on the bat of Riley King. King, one of YD's 4 All-Stars, will be starting at third base for the Eastern Division squad on Sunday. Chops the first pitch foul on the third base line towards the Harwich bullpen, and it's 0-1. King's average sits at 7th in the Cape. Right now at 333. YD, of course, has second leading hitter in Wyatt Young at 359. 7th in Riley King, and then 10th in Austin Wells, who's at 324. 0-1. Skied right towards us. And it'll be caught just in front of the fence, a couple feet from us. And for the second time in 3 innings, the Red Sox leave the bases loaded. Both of us were ready to make that play. Should it happen, we would have done better than TJ did last time.
TJ was already running right there.
I'm pretty sure TJ was up the line at this point. Nonetheless, YD strikes first. They're up 1-0. We head to the bottom of the third here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
In the bottom of the third, the catcher, number 5, Patrick.
Bottom of the third inning here. Tolman back on for his third inning of work. Now spotted with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a Wyatt Young RBI single in the top half of the frame. And now Pat Winkle steps in and ducks down as a breaking ball skies over his head, and it's 1-0. One-0 pitch from Tolman. Just a bit high as it comes into the letters, and it's 2-0. Two-0 pitch from Tolman. Once again upstairs, and it's a quick 3-0 count to the 8-hole hitter Winkle.
Tolman's command has been pretty good so far tonight. He hasn't fallen behind or been in many deep counts.
3-0 pitch, took a little off the fastball and got it in, and it's 3-1.
Especially the efficient second inning that he had.
That one is smoked to Noah Campbell at second base. On the backhand, throws over to first. And Tolman bounces back from the 3-0 count to retire Winkle 5-3. And that, I think, is the biggest difference in what Eric Tolman struggled with in that start against Brewster, and conversely, what allowed him to be so effective in his last start against Brewster, which was he eliminated the 3-ball counts, didn't walk anybody in that 5 2/3 inning performance, and so he kept traffic off the base paths.
Yeah, no question. The lack of free passes was massive.
First pitch to Hal Hughes is skied foul over our head, and it's 0-1.
I mean, anytime you see a starter who had 8 Ks, no walks, you're thinking he probably had a pretty good outing, and that's exactly what Tolman did against Brewster.
That one's also skied foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Hal Hughes sitting at 161 out of LSU. Already made some slick defensive plays at short. Tolman ready out of the windup. The 0-2 on its way. That's a breaking ball that dips in at the shins, and it's 1-2. This is game number 33 for YD, as that one is smoked up the middle, and that's a base hit just past the glove of Tolman, and it's a 1-out base runner for the Mariners.
And good swing by Hal Hughes. 2 strikes, Tolman made a mistake, one that Hughes could really turn on, and just left it out over the middle of the plate. Hughes, pretty good swing on it.
From LSU, Daniel Cabrera.
So Harwich cycles the order to the top half with the 1-out base runner, and Daniel Cabrera steps in. He grounded out to Noah Campbell to lead off the ball game for the Mariners. First pitch to Cabrera is in there for a called strike, 0-1. One nothing our score here. YD's got one run on already 6 hits in this one. Harwich just 2 hits through their first trip through the order. And it's quickly 0-2 to Daniel Cabrera.
Tolman has kept the traffic off the base paths YD has had plenty of traffic. They've already left 5 on base, though.
Got him looking on the fastball. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Cabrera. And now 2 down in the inning with Chris Galland coming up to the plate.
Great job by Tolman to attack. Last 2 hitters he attacked, but made the mistake to Hughes, and that's why he got hit in this at-bat. No mistakes made to Cabrera.
First pitch to Galland misses, and it's 1-0. Just the 2 hits allowed are the only 2 base runners as Galland waves and misses on a bunt attempt, and that one looked like it caught Austin Wells on the foot, which is not sure if it was the same foot, but took a foul ball off the foot a couple games ago and kept him out for a couple games. Said the foot feels good, so hopefully that wasn't just hitting on that same spot, which no one likes to have happen.
No, he's been feeling a lot better after taking a little bit of time off there. So that one caught him again on the foot, so he's been taking a beating last week or so, but looks to be all right. He's going to stay in there. He knows what he's in for back there as a catcher. You know you're going to get hit by some foul tips and here or there, just get a little bit beat up.
1-1 pitch misses inside, and it's 2-1. Hal Hughes waits on first, 2 down. 2-1 pitch is a fastball right down Broadway, and it's 2-2. Tolman working out of the stretch for just the 2nd time today. It was the man at the plate, Chris Galland, who got a single in the first inning. Full count now to him. Tolman gets the sign, now comes set at the belt. Checks Hughes at first, now delivers. That one is roped into left field. Washington coming in, and he'll make the play on the line drive, and that'll end the inning. Tolman strands the 1-out base runner. We head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Number 19, the first baseman from
4th inning set to get underway here in Harwich, Massachusetts. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you. Jack Thomas Wold leading things off for the Red Sox as he swings at the first pitch and sends a liner into right center field gap, and that'll one-hop the wall, and that'll be extra bases for Wold. Wiemer fields it on a hop, and Wold cruises into second base with the leadoff double.
I tell you what, Jack has not been swinging it all that well in BP, but he is crushing the baseball right now in the game. So in the last week now, that's his 3rd extra base hit, a couple of home runs, and that's a really good swing on the baseball into right center right there.
Easy power there from the lefty out of UNLV. And like you said, Brian, he's been hot lately. And the 2 home runs he hit, yes, they were at home, but neither of them were cheapies.
Not shorties.
Certainly not any Red Wilson specials for Jack Thomas Wold in the last couple games, including the dagger against this Harwich Mariners team a few days ago. Carson Taylor in the box now. Second game, the Virginia Tech Hokie essentially swapped spots with his teammate Ian Seymour on the roster. Menendez out of the stretch once again. His first pitch to Taylor is downstairs, and it's 1-0. Taylor DHing tonight. Catcher by trade. Also seen him take some grounders at first base as well. So another very versatile piece for Scott Pickler. Bats from the left side with an open stance. Bat waving just behind his helmet. That one's roped on the ground. Fielded on the backhand by Lanzilli. He'll go to Menendez at first, and Wold will advance to third on the fielder's choice, and there's one down.
Productive out from Carson Taylor. Rolled over on the ball a bit, but moves Wold up to third base. Wold has decent speed. We'll see how much he tests the outfield on any fly ball.
So now Washington will step in for his second at-bat for YD. Lined a single into center field in his first at-bat and then came around to score the game's only run. Washington, a guy, as we talked about, prolific line drive hitter at Pittsburgh. Hit just over 300 this season for the Panthers, 17 doubles. So that one's nubbed off the end of the bat foul, and it's 0-1. The hit totals went down a tick this past season compared to his freshman year at Pitt, in which he was an all-ACC performer. 26 walks, though. The on-base percentage skyrocketed, which is the sign of a more complete approach at the plate for Washington in his sophomore campaign. The on-base percentage jumped from 333, almost 100 points, to 429. Slugging was up as well, so while the hit totals might not have been there in 12 less games, definitely saw the ball better as a sophomore, as that one is roped foul as he was out in front of the breaking pitch there, and it's 1-2.
Definitely did see it better as a sophomore, especially just looking at the numbers. I mean, one at bat here, one hit. So, end a run. So, you're seeing it well on Cape Cod so far. Maybe the Noah Campbell effect.
We've seen a few hitters in this lineup get off to torrid starts.
Yeah.
Noah Campbell, Andrew Eister, Austin Wells.
I wonder if it's something to do with you just get up here to a new environment, you're just relaxed and not thinking about it too much.
Seen Washington get along well with the guys in BP. They're helping them out, laughing, joking around. They're around the cages. This is a very close-knit team at this point in the season. Can sometimes be uncomfortable to join a new environment this late, but no problem for either him or Carson Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Full count now to Washington as Wold still waits on third with one down here in the top of the fourth inning. YD looking to extend their 1-0 lead. Washington awaits the payoff pitch from Menendez. Big swing and a miss as they got him on the fastball down and in, and that's the second out of the inning.
This is the guy Whitey wants up, though, somebody in scoring position. Already a couple hits today, Wyatt Young. While they've struggled as a team to drive in runners and they leave a lot on base, Wyatt Young's been the guy who's been able to drive those runs in. And while you leave a lot on base, that means you're getting guys on base. The on-base percentage has skyrocketed these last few weeks all the way up to second in the league. And so that's a great sign for this team, but you got to be able to cash in.
Wyatt Young already has an RBI to his credit in this one. drove in Washington after he singled and advanced on a throwing error. 0-1 the count to Young with Wold standing on third base. Young squared to bunt but pulls it back as the pitch was wide, and it's 1-1. Young takes a second to adjust the batting gloves, now steps back in. Already 2 hits in this one, up for his third at-bat, and we're just in the 4th inning. 1-1. Chopped, and that'll be just foul up the first base line, and it's now 1-2.
Wyatt can be a bit of a free swinger. He'll expand the zone. He's just so good at making contact with everything that's why he sees a lot of 2-strike counts, because he fouls off almost every pitch the pitchers throw. Not an easy guy to strike out, but you see a lot of 2-strike counts with him.
A lot of space on the left side of the infield, which is exactly where he poked his RBI single in the 3rd. Hal Hughes shaded it up the middle. 1-2. That one skied into left center field. Gallen's got a beat on it, though, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So Wold's leadoff double is wasted by YD as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. They're still up 1-0 here. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Christian Fedko set to lead things off for Harwich in their half of the 4th inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you. Eric Tolman still on the mound for YD. Through 3 scoreless. The first pitch to Fedko's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Tolman has looked good thus far, just allowing 2 base runners on 2 singles. That one skips into the dirt. Wells can't quite dig it out, but doesn't matter as there's nobody on. And it's now 1-1. Pac-12 battery is the Sun Devil Tolman throwing to the Wildcat Austin Wells as they put rivalry aside here on Cape Cod.
I feel like we're far past that at this point with all the West Coast guys on this team.
That one's on the ground. Fedko played perfectly on the shift as Campbell, playing just behind second base, ranges over to make the play. 4-3, and that's the first out of the inning.
Number 16, the right fielder from Cincinnati.
Campbell has a shortstop's arm over there at second. That's probably his best attribute defensively, honestly, is he has a really strong arm. Didn't even really have to set his feet, just picked that up, shifted, and made the throw.
So now Joey Wiemer Jr. steps in. First pitch swinging, and man, that is just a violent hack at the plate. It doesn't matter what the count is, what pitch he's swinging at. It is just rifled through the zone. Looks at an off-speed pitch down at the shins, and it's 1-1.
Well, he brings his left knee up to about his waist on the leg kick. His hands go down to about his waist.
1-1 pitch. Misses outside. Wells spears it, and it's 2-1.
So he almost goes from as straight up and down as you can get to crouched up just on one leg, and then he just expands it all right at the baseball.
It's one of those batting stances as Tolman delivers the 2-1 as it's chopped high on the ground. Young will field the high hop over to first in time as they got him. So 2 down here in the inning as Wyatt Young makes an outstanding running play on a high hop and beats Wiemer by about a half a step. But to finish that point, Brian, it's one of those stances where you wonder at what point he really started developing that and how many Little League coaches tried to tell him not to do that.
Yeah, you wonder at what point did that leg kick to that stand straight up and down start to be used, and it's just been effective apparently that nobody's had to really try to switch him out of it.
First pitch to Cavadas, batting with 2 down, misses in the dirt, back to the backstop, and it's 1-0. Cavadas stands at the plate, waits the 1-0, and it misses just wide. 2 balls, no strikes. Cavadas pacing the Cape League in home run, 1 RBI behind Hyannis's Hunter Goodman. Quickly ahead of the count 3-0, and most guys you're probably giving a take sign, not Cavadas. But doesn't matter as that one misses inside, and it's a 4-pitch, 2-out walk.
Sometimes it's interesting. Tolman just kind of loses his command for a batter. He was all over the place there to Cavadas. It wasn't even like he was just trying to be picky right around the outside of the zone. He just really was no clue where the ball was going for a second.
So a 2-out base runner. First walk of the day for Eric Tolman. Now Dylan Noisy steps in. He struck out his first time. Skies the first pitch foul and out of play, and it's 0-1. Noisy at 136 out of Texas Tech. Playing center field tonight for Harwich. Beautiful Friday evening as the sun begins to set. We got an Eastern Division clash between YD and Harwich. One and one the count to Noisy. Waves way out in front of the off-speed pitch down in the zone, and it's 1-2. Cavadas not a threat to run on first.
Despite what the Katuitt Kettleers think.
That was funny hearing about the Mike Roberts special of checking on Nico Cavadas a myriad of times late in the game as that one skied really deep into left field, pushing Washington back, looking up, and that has gone up into the trees. A 2-out shot off the bat of Dylan Noisy gives Harwich the 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Another home run, another $50 for the family pantry.
So Eric Tolman,
Donated by Pretty Pinky
the
Properties.
2-out walk comes back to bite him, and Harwich then takes the lead on a shot off the bat from Noisy, and it's 2-1 Mariners.
And he missed his spot there to Noisy. He had him up a ball and 2 strikes and left it off speed up in the zone, let her high that Noisy got all of to left center.
So suddenly, in a game that Eric Tolman looked to be pitching very well, now finds himself behind 2-1 after surrendering the 2-run, 2-out shot.
Really just that one mistake. Besides that, he's been good.
And he's very quickly 0-2 on Chris Lanzilli. And that is just the latest in the installation of a 2-out base runner, especially the 2-out walk coming back to haunt this YD pitching staff. As the 0-2 pitch is lined foul and out of play, and the count holds there.
It's been especially true of Tolman. It's been the 2 outs for him more often than I feel like any other of these pitchers.
0-2 pitch misses downstairs, and it's 1-2. But time and time again, we've seen with this YD offense, the bounce back ability. As Lanzilli goes down swinging, Wells will apply the tag, and that'll end the inning. Harwich strikes back for 2, courtesy of the Dylan Noisy 2-out, 2-run shot. It's 2-1 Mariners. We head to the top of the 5th. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the 5th inning, Beasley, Wells, and Campbell, 2, 3, and 4 set to bat for the Red Sox. They trail it 2-1 to the Harwich Mariners. A 2-run home run from Dylan Noisy put the Mariners on top 2-1 in the 4th inning. YD has out-hit the Mariners 7-3, but 6 men have been left on base through 4 innings. Beasley set to lead it off. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1 from Antonio Menendez, still the starter on the mound for Harwich. Beasley from the right side. Menendez with the 1-0. Misses off the plate in. 2 balls and no strikes to Beasley.
And I was talking just before we went to break, Brian, about the bounce back ability of this YD offense, to which they never truly feel like they're out of a ball game.
2-0 in there for a called strike. Now 2-1.
I actually talked to Brad Beasley about it post-game a couple days ago after he had his fingerprints all over the win in which they hung a 6 spot in the 7th inning.
2-1, also a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Beasley.
And he just talked about the confidence this team has that regardless of the deficit that they face, they trust in the fact that they can put up a crooked number. And if you look at the part of the order that's due up right now.
2-2, crushed but foul down the left field line. Beasley way early, but got all of it. Another 2-2 coming.
Facing a 2-1 deficit, I'm sure no one in that dugout is rolling over feeling sorry for themselves. They're suddenly find themselves down 2-1. They know they're going to pick up Tolman. They know they're going to pick up each other.
Another 2-2 fouled off by Beasley towards the Harwich dugout, and we'll see another 2-2 offering.
And that's an incredible mindset to have as a team, to know that, hey, oh darn, we're down 2-1. Looks like we're going to have to go out and score 2 more, but we got this. And that's the kind of offense that this team has had all season long.
In a league with a lot of good relief pitchers, hard thing to do. Come back, especially if you're down after the 6th inning and beyond. Another 2-2 to Beasley. Off speed, misses high, and the count is full. Good at bat by Beasley to get us started here in the 5th. 2-1 Harwich. Meat of the order due up here for the Red Sox. The 3-2. Popped up by Beasley, foul territory right side. Lanzilli charging hard. The first baseman makes a running catch just in front of the warning track in foul territory in front of the Red Sox dugout. Menendez was also closing, the pitcher for the Mariners, but it was Lanzilli to make the catch, and that's the first out here in the 5th.
Number 16, the catcher from Arizona, Austin Wells.
1 down for Wells. Bases are clear. Wells is 1 for 2 today. A sharp single in the 1st. Fly out, also pretty well hit to left field. Back in the 3rd. First pitch. Misses away to Wells, 1-0. This offense has been talking all season. The pitching staff has trust in them. They have trust. 1-0. Swinging a foul back by Wells. A ball and a strike. Ian Seymour told me as far ago as just his 2nd start of the season that It's just the vibe this team has down in the bullpen, even when he's not starting. They have confidence in this offense, so much firepower that they're going to be able to reel in the opponent. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, hammered deep in the air to left. Galland on his horse, racing back. He looks up. It's gone. Austin Wells ties it at 2. A solo shot to left, his 7th of the season. That's a big home run for Wells. Just one back of Nico Cavadas in the league lead at 8.
Number 14, the second baseman from South
You were saying it earlier when he flew out to right in his last at bat that he's seeing the ball well in this one, and it did sort of feel like inevitable that at some point he was going to get a hold of one, and did just that, going the opposite way.
First pitch to Noah Campbell, swing and a miss, strike 1. That ball was a line drive. We talked about it. When Wells is seeing it well, he is crushing the baseball to the opposite field.
Which there again begs the question why they shifted on him in the first inning, because clearly he has no problem going the opposite way.
0-1, fouled off by Campbell. Now it's 0-2. And you wonder if it's just where they think he's going to hit it on the ground. Because he doesn't, when's the last time we saw him bounce out to shortstop?
This is true.
That's the question I would have then. Potentially, that's what the spray charts are showing. 0-2 to Campbell. Just misses down and away to the lefty. Campbell from the left side. 2-2, top of the 5th. 1 down, and the bases are clear for Noah Campbell. Campbell 2 for 2 today against Menendez. The pitch. High chopper, right side. The second baseman, Fedko, fields, bobbles, throws, not in time. Fedko let the high hop get to him, waited on the ball, tried a quick transfer, and then could not handle it. Slight double clutch from Fedko allows Campbell to reach. And Campbell's aboard with 1 down here in the 5th. Should be an E4 on Fedko. If not for the bobble, he has time to get Noah Campbell. First pitch to Jake Palmer. Campbell takes off, swinging a foul ball at the plate. Campbell, hit and run was on with Jake Palmer. Palmer fouled it off. No balls and a strike to Palmer. He walked and has a double play ground out. That double play came in the first inning. Bases were loaded. It was a sharp one hopper at Hal Hughes, the shortstop. He made a great sliding backhanded stop and rolled the double play. Menendez from the stretch, the 0-1. Called strike. Campbell stayed put at first. Now 0-2 to Palmer. Red Sox have tied it here in their half of the 5th. A solo home run to Wells. No balls, 2 strikes to Palmer from the left side. Campbell leads from first. 1 down and the 0-2. Fastball buzzes high to Palmer. Ball 1. That was one of the first really hard fastballs over the top we've seen from Menendez. Normally drops down and goes submarine. Deep breath from Palmer. Now he'll dig back in. Taps the plate, brings the bat up, resting it on his shoulder. Campbell from first. The 1-2. Fouled off. Sharp liner out of play to the left side. Another 1-2 coming from Menendez. There is a righty up and tossing for the Mariners in their bullpen.
Nick Stewart warming up down there. The righty out of James Madison.
This is pitch number 80 upcoming here for Menendez. So the pitch count looming for the righty. Check on first. Campbell's back standing. Menendez in his 3rd start of the season. He's gone 6 innings or more twice. In each of his starts, in fact. The 1-2. Submarine pitch misses down and away to Palmer. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Menendez has been hit hard today. 8 hits from the Red Sox. A couple of Harwich errors have not helped his cause, although one of their 2 errors have been from his own arm. Tried to pick off Ron Washington at first and uncorked one down the right field line. The 2-2 to Palmer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Palmer goes down to a knee, took a monster hack on the 2-2, and that's the second out here, the 5th.
Number 4, the third baseman from Georgia.
I think I heard Jake Palmer grunt on that swing, Andre.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest swings I think we've seen Jake Palmer take this season. Absolutely uncorked it there.
I think he saw a pitch he liked, even with 2 strikes. Just couldn't get anything to it. 2 down now for Riley King. Still Campbell on first. First pitch to King. Fastball misses low, just below the knees. King is 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a foul pop out to the catcher Winkle. Campbell on first. He reached on the air by the second baseman Fedko. The 1-0. Off speed, misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Whitey 2, Harwich 2. Top of the 5th inning, 2 down. 2 balls and no strikes to King. Here's the pitch from Menendez. Campbell takes off. King skies it. Back behind home plate again. Winkle has a play. Toss the mask. Backpedals and it falls in foul territory. So that's a foul ball. Had that been in fair territory, King was around second. So was Campbell. Winkle, he caught the foul pop out from King in the 3rd inning, but could not handle this one in the 5th. Second life for Riley King, 2 balls and a strike. Whitey has scored once already in this inning on the Austin Wells solo home run to even things up here at 2. 2 balls and a strike. Shadows starting to overset White House Field, and now there's going to be a mound visit. That might be the end of the line for Menendez out on the mound. They've been waiting for their reliever to get ready for what I feel like is some time. 2-1 the count to King, 2 down, 2-2 tie. Long conversation. Huddle out there on the mound. Menendez is going to stay out there. Interesting decision here. Does it feel like he's almost used up all his gas today?
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that was a, hey, do you feel like you can finish out this inning? Because if you can, I'll let you. If not, my guy's ready in the bullpen right now. And so I think it's a good display of trust there. And Menendez obviously feels confident that he can get this final out.
The 2-1 to King. Swing and a miss over a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. King back in the batter's box. The third baseman from Georgia lifts the bat up. Slight twirl. Campbell takes off. The 2-2. Bounced foul by Riley King. It's been a long inning for Menendez out on the mound. Campbell has been off and running a couple times from first. We'll see if he moves again with the 2-2. There he goes. The pitch. Nubbed, first base line, foul ball from King. Now he's having a deep at-bat with Menendez. 2 down. Menendez desperately needs to get out of this one and salvage the 2-2 tie. Feels like King's his last batter either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, should King reach, he's going to be done. If he finishes out the inning, he's not going to start the 6th. Either way, this is it for him.
Menendez sets right at the belt. The 2-2. Campbell moves. Fouled off again by King. quite the battle going on. Neither side willing to give in here. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Only the 5th batter of the inning, but Menendez has faced deep counts, long at-bats to Brad Beasley. Noah Campbell had a deep at-bat. Jake Palmer worked a 3-2 count, and now this will be the 9th pitch to King. Here it is. Skied right side, down the right field line, near foul ground, now back into fair territory, and it drops. Fair ball. Campbell moves to third. King stays put at first, just over the head of Lanzilli. The wind blowing the ball from right to left here at White House Field, and it falls in fair territory. Menendez should have been out of it, but the trio of Fedko and Lanzilli could not make the play, the duo rather. No real opportunity for Wiemer. It was too shallow in right field, and now we're going to see the bullpen. Runners on the corners, 2 down, top 5. YD and Harwich tied at 2. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at White House Field, it's the top of the 5th. Runners are on the corners, and Nick Stewart out of the bullpen for the Mariners. The tall righty. First pitch to Jack Thomas Wold, ripped deep in the air to left. That's down the line. Galland back again, and he makes a running catch. Colliding into the fencing in foul territory, Galland reached up over his head and made the running grab on the track, taking away extra bases for Wold. YD gets 1 in the 5th, the home run from Wells. Stewart gets out of it on the crushed ball from Wold. To the bottom of the 5th we go. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, Winkle, Hughes, and Cabrera all set to bat for the Mariners against Tolman. First pitch of the 5th, check swing. He did go around for strike one. That's Winkle, who tried to check, but it's strike one. 2-2 between the Mariners and the Red Sox. Austin Wells, a solo home run in the 5th to even things up. The 0-1. Breaking ball, misses off the plate in. A ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Inside. Thought that caught a piece of Winkle. Tipped off the glove of Wells, but just ball two. 2 balls and a strike. Tolman from the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Skied in the air to right. Palmer started back. Now he's drifting in. Walking. Now he backpedals and he makes the catch. Moving towards right center. Man, you get it up high in the air today. The wind is playing tricks on the baseball.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of people doing what Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Kruko on the Giants broadcast will call the pop-up dance. A lot of happy feet over there as you are trying to track the ball. The wind is gusting here, and like you said, if you get it high enough in the air, it's going to start to dance up there.
Palmer, a circular dance that time. First pitch to Hal Hughes, called strike, 0-1. Hughes singled back in the 2nd inning. One of just 3 hits off of Tolman, but they've been able to push across 2 runs. A Dylan Noisy home run, a 2-run shot has been both. Now Hughes hits one in the air pretty deep to the left. The left fielder run Washington backpedaling. He pulls up just short of the track, and he makes the grab right at his shoulder. 2 flyouts to start the 5th for Tolman on the hill, and that flips the order over to Daniel Cabrera with the bases clear and 2 down.
Number 4, the designated hitter from LSU, Daniel Cabrera.
Cabrera's 0 for 2 today. 289 hitter on the season and an all-star, but has really struggled against the lefty Tolman. Tolman winds. First pitch. Fastball misses up high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball fouled off. A ball and a strike to Cabrera. Whitey playing Cabrera to pull. Campbell's in the hole at second. Wold right on the line at first. Young close to his normal spot at shortstop, and Riley King ages off the line at third. Here's the 1-1. Misses low in the dirt. A breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 to Cabrera. Fastball misses upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Tolman issued his first walk of the evening last inning, a 2-out walk that resulted in a run. The 2-1, 3-1 rather, misses low, and that's the second 2-out walk of the evening for Tolman. His second free pass in general. And Cabrera's aboard with 2 down. And that might end Eric Tolman's day. His pitch count has been rising as well. Pick is out to the mound. We can't see the Whitey bullpen, but he's looking down in that direction. Tolman at 82 pitches. And Pick is gone to the pen. That's Carlos Lamellae. We'll get you his statistics when we come back. 2-2 between Harwich and YD. Bottom of the 5th. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at White House Field, it's the bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, and Carlos Lamellae is the new pitcher for the Red Sox in relief of Eric Tolman. Lamellae out of St. Mary's. This is his 6th appearance. He started 3 games, so only his 3rd out of the pen. He'll be working from the stretch here with Daniel Cabrera on first and 2 outs. First pitch to Chris Galland in there for strike 1 on an off speed. Harwich and Whitey tied at 2 here in the 5th. Lamellae, 6 ERA, even entering today's ball game. The 0-1. Another off speed, misses outside. Diving stab made by Austin Wells to keep it in front. A ball and a strike to Gallant. Lamellae sets right at the belt. 1-1. Fouled up and out of play by Gallant. Ball and 2 strikes. Gallant against Tolman was 1 for 2. Bottom of the 5th, Gallant made a great running catch to end the top of the 5th, robbing Jack Wold of extra bases. Lamellae, the 1-2. Drilled into the right center gap. Now Palmer racing inward, and he makes a running grab. Ball got in on the hands a bit of Galland, and he flies out to Jake Palmer. Lamellae comes in, gets one batter, and that ends the 5th inning. 2-2 between the Mariners and the Red Sox. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 6th inning. Carson Taylor leading off for the Red Sox. First pitch misses away for ball 1. Nick Stewart back out on the mound here for the Mariners. We're tied at 2 as we begin the 6th. First pitch, rather the 1-0 to Taylor. Misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. The winds and the 2-0 to Taylor. Fastball misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Taylor 0 for 3 so far as a Red Sox. Just his 2nd game up here on Cape Cod. The 3-0. Way up high. Ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk to begin the 6th for YD. Final line for Antonio Menendez, the starter today for Harwich. He goes 4 2/3, got hit pretty well, 9 hits, but was able to work out of a couple of jams. Only 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So the second walk of the day is issued. Carson Taylor on base with nobody down here in the 6th for the Red Sox. And the 9-man up in the order for YD, Ron Washington. He singled and scored the first run of the game in the 3rd for YD. First pitch, flared foul, back in our direction, over our heads, out of play. Strike 1.
That guy gave it a better effort than Peach ever would have.
Peach closed his eyes.
Yeah. Saw zero effort there to make that play.
That one barely made it up over the cage right in front of us. I thought it might fall right into everyone's laps, just over their heads as well. Stewart to Washington, 0-1, swing and a miss. Out in front of a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Whitey 2, Harwich 2. Important game for both sides. Stewart from the stretch, light brown gloves, sit right at the chin. The 0-2, breaking ball, hit in the air, right field. Wiemer moving to his right, now coming inward, a little leap, and he makes the catch. Fly out from Washington, and there's the first of the 6th.
Number 7, the shortstop from Pepperdine, Wyatt Young.
Important game we've been following along. Brewster and Chatham. In Brewster, Brewster leads Chatham 6-1. So YD playing for a potential tie for first place in the Eastern Division. If they can top the Mariners and Brewster beats Chatham, then YD and the Anglers deadlocked. Wyatt Young, leadoff man for the Red Sox, takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. 1 down in the top of the 6th inning. Carson Taylor on first for YD. 2-2, so things far from decided here. YD struggled to drive in runners today. The 1-0 to Young. Line drive. 2-hopper, in fact, at the second baseman. Fedko. Hughes on to first in time. Nice stretch by Lanzilli. 4-6-3. Taylor-made double play. Ends the 6th for the Red Sox. Young hit it well, but positioned better was Fedko. Bottom of the 6th inning. Coming up next, Fedko, Wiemer, and Cavadas to the plate when we return. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's 2-2 between the Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners. Carlos Lamellae still on the mound for the Red Sox. He worked a third of the 5th inning in relief for Eric Tolman. He was able to induce a flyout to end the 5th, but he'll face 3, 4, and 5, the dangerous trio of Fedko, Wiemer, and Cavadas here in the 6th, and a 2-2 tie. First pitch to Fedko. Hesitation move from Lamellae. Fastball misses away for ball 1. Tolman's final line, 4 2/3, just 3 hits, 2 runs, a couple of 2-out walks, and 4 strikeouts. The only 2 runs came on a 2-run home run. Here's the 1-0 to Fedko. Fisted, shallow center field. Campbell going out the second baseman. It falls over his head. Fedko, a flare, able to reach base. That's a leadoff single. Just a soft hit for Fedko. And the 6th inning starts with the man on for the Mariners. A pitch in on the hands.
Number 16.
Fedko just was able to muscle it. Campbell was in the shift, shaded up the middle, turned to his left, raced out into shallow right center, and it just fell over his head. Nobody out now for Joey Wiemer. He's 0 for 2 today, but has been a Red Sox killer. 4 RBIs the last time these two met. Lamellae will stretch with the man on first. The first pitch misses low and away to Wiemer, ball 1. Little bit of scoreboard watching for both these two. The 1-0 misses high and tight to Wiemer, 2 balls and no strikes. With Brewster leading Chatham late, that makes this even more important for the Mariners, leading the Whitecaps by 3 points in the Eastern Division. They need this win. 2-0. Misses outside to Wiemer, 3 balls and no strikes. And the Red Sox have been sniffing first place for months. Really, ever since the start of the season, they've been, it feels like, 2 points back of Chatham. Now's their chance to tie it. The 3-0 to Wiemer. Fastball pumped in there for strike 1. 3-1. Chatham in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. Whitecaps looking to snap. The 3-1. Called strike, and the count is full. Lamellae has climbed all the way back. Man on first, nobody down. Fedko, the bloop single, got it started. 2-2 between the Red Sox and the Mariners. Bottom 6. The pitch. Wiemer skies it, left field. Washington drifting backwards to the warning track into left center, and he makes the catch. Can of corn for Washington. He was, it was the wind dance?
The pop-up dance.
The pop-up dance. It's windy here today in Harwich, so Washington was dancing a bit out there and left, but he makes the squeeze for the first out here in the 6th. Was that an appropriate use of the pop-up dance?
It was. It's generally used on more traditional pop-ups on the infield because you see it more from second base shortstops, types that are trying to make the play. You saw it down there in the last inning with the pop-up off the bat of Riley King that got down. Even saw it behind the dish from Pat Winkle as well.
First pitch to Nico Cavadas, misses high for ball 1. It is really gusting here, now blowing almost straight out to center field. Cavadas, the league leader in home runs with 8, stands in with the man on first, the 1-0. Fastball called strike. Wells was thinking about a back pick, but couldn't make the transition from his catcher's mitt to his bare hand.
The back pick, something this team uses very effectively, something they're certainly not afraid to do. And importantly, Austin Wells and Noah Cardenas behind the plate. Haven't seen it yet from Carson Taylor, obviously, but I'm sure he will at some point. But very strong, accurate arms that allow them to be able to utilize.
1-1 breaking ball is fouled away by Cavadas, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Not supposed to rain today, but almost feels like rain is in the air. Odd vibe around the ballpark right now with this gusts of wind, some clouds blowing in.
89% humidity per the iPhone weather app.
You can feel it. 1-2. Called strike 3. Lamellae paints the outer edge and gets Cavadas looking for the second out of the 6th. Nice pitch, Carlos Lamellae, and that's a big out for such an imposing hitter.
Absolutely, and that's something we've seen this Red Sox team do well in these last stretch of games is really limiting the opposing team's best offensive threat. We saw them do it, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, with Zach DeLoach. Tonight with Cavadas, and the last time these two teams met a couple games ago, relatively speaking, they held Nico Cavadas in check there as well.
Now Dylan Noisy. First pitch, breaking ball, misses away to the righty for ball 1. Now maybe Dylan Noisy. He's been the one who has hurt the Red Sox today. With Cavadas drawing a 2-out walk in the 4th against Eric Tolman, Noisy came up and blasted a 2-strike hanging breaking ball over the wall and left. We're tied at 2 now. 1-0 to Noisy. Ripped into left field on a line. Bounces in front of Washington. That's another 2-out hit for Dylan Noisy. He's had a great day today. Came in hitting just 136, but a couple of base knocks and a couple of really loud base hits. Runners now on first and second with 2 down for the Mariners.
Number 14, the first baseman.
Moving up to second is Fedko. He stays there on the line drive to left. Now Chris Lanzilli. Lanzilli's 0 for 2 today. Ground out and a strikeout. First time facing Lamellae. Lamellae, the former starter in the rotation. A little bit of an injury, missed a few weeks, moved to the pen. First pitch to Lanzilli. Flared, broken bat, shallow left field. That's going to fall. Washington picks it up on 2 hops, fires to third, not in time to get the racing Noisy. Scoring from second is Fedko. Second bloop base hit of the inning for the Mariners, but they cash one in. Fedko scores, and it's 3-2 Harwich now in the 6th.
Yeah, that's one of those where not much you can do if you're Lamellae. You induce a soft contact, but because of the fact that the runners were going on contact with 2 outs, as soon as that fell, you knew that Fedko was going to score from second base. So unfortunately, the soft contact there just found a hole.
Runners on the corners. Mariners aren't done yet here in the 6th. Patrick Winkle to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, but it's been the bottom of the order that has gotten it done against the Red Sox. First pitch from Lamellae to Winkle. Misses upstairs for ball 1. A back and forth ball game today. The Red Sox led first. 1-0 to Winkle. Called strike. Fastball right at the knees. 1-1. YD led first, 1-0. Then a 2-run fourth on the home run from Noisy put Harwich in front. YD evened it back up in the 5th with a solo home run from Wells. And now Harwich back on top here in the 6th. The 1-1. Breaking ball, grounded, right side. Noah Campbell moves to his right, gloves and throws to first, and that will retire Winkle. Harwich strikes for 1, 3 hits in the frame. There were no errors. They leave 2 men aboard in the 6th. 3-2 Mariners. Top of the 7th. Coming up next, this is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th, Harwich back on top, 3-2 over the YD Red Sox. Beasley, Wells, and Campbell all up here in the 7th for the Red Sox. First pitch from Nick Stewart on the hill, misses low to Beasley for ball 1. Harwich scratched across a run in the 6th against Carlos Lamellae. 1-0 to Beasley. Fastball misses away, 2 balls and no strikes. Nothing hit all that hard, but they were able to push across a run on 3 singles. Here's the 2-0 to Beasley. Misses way up high at the eyes. 3 balls and no strikes.
And this is a similar situation that this team already found themselves in this game, down by a run with 2, 3, and 4 in the order due up. The guy on deck, Austin Wells, hitting a solo shot to tie the game at 2.
Beasley drives one deep in the air to left. That ball's going to leave the yard. A no-doubter from Brad Beasley. Turned and burned on a 3-0 and launched one into the trees in left, and we're even again. 3 apiece between the Mariners and Red Sox.
Why even wait to get to Austin Wells in the order? Brad Beasley showing off the sneaky power there. Absolutely launching that one to left field. Zero doubt about it there. Austin Wells saying before that at bat, hey, Bees, you won't. Well, he did. And now Austin Wells has a chance to follow it up. Already a home run to his credit today.
Wells and Beasley, both with solo blasts. Wells to the plate again, facing Nick Stewart. First pitch, fastball called strike, just brushes the outer edge to Wells.
That's a few times now where you've seen Brad Beasley really run into some and take them very, very far.
0-1 to Wells. Fouled back, it's 0-2. Second home run of the year for Beasley. He is on fire, man. Just crushing the baseball. First hit today, but he's squared it up a couple of times. The 0-2. Swing and a miss from Wells. Stewart bounces back nicely after the Beasley bomb and strikes out Austin Wells. First strikeout from Stewart today, third from the staff of the Mariners. One down now in the seventh. 3-3 between the Red Sox and Mariners. We continue to pinball back and forth. Noah Campbell to the plate with one down. Bases are empty. Still hitting from the left side. First pitch, off speed, right on the inside corner to Campbell. Called strike. Campbell hit 2 for 3 today, but he's reached base all 3 times. The 0-1, same spot, inside corner, called strike again. And Campbell's down 0-2. Back-to-back changeups from Stewart out there on the mound. From the windup, here's the 0-2 to Campbell. Fouls it away, down the third baseline, out of play. Campbell reached on an error in the 5th inning. Hit a slow bouncing ball at Christian Fedko, the second baseman, who bobbled it on the transfer. The 0-2 from Stewart. Misses up high on a breaking ball, a ball and 2 strikes. This middle of the order, so dangerous. Starting with Wyatt Young at the top, and then Beasley, Wells, and Campbell all are driving the baseball. The 1-2. Sharp bouncer underneath the glove of Cavadas at third. Tried to go to the backhand side, squeaks down the left field line. Campbell's going to slam on the brakes as he rounds first base. He's aboard again. 4th time he's reached today. That's not going to be an easy scoring decision as Cavadas moving to his backhand almost was backing up on the baseball, tried to stab it. He has a great arm. Would have been a close play at first even if he'd gloved it. But Campbell's aboard with 1 out in the 7th.
And I think that was one of those where Cavadas was expecting the ball to come up a little bit. In fact, then stayed down, snuck under the glove. I would give Noah Campbell a hit there.
They do rule a single. 3 for 4 day now for Noah Campbell. Jake Palmer. Campbell goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Gonna gun him. Plenty of time. Palmer came up empty on a hit and run. It was a pitch high and outside in the strike zone. Probably out of the strike zone, in fact. And that's the second out as Campbell's thrown out trying to steal second by about 10 feet.
It didn't seem like Campbell got the best of jumps on that pitch. And then on top of that, poor pitch to then execute a hit and run on as it was high and wide. So all around tough situation.
0-1 misses low to Palmer, a ball and a strike. Palmer, generally a guy the pick really likes to hit and run with. Good contact hitter. Couldn't get the wood to the baseball that time. Here's the 1-1. Broken bat, flare, foul ball. Almost snuck it down the left field line. Palmer's going to have to get a new piece of lumber. We're tied at 3, top of the 7th inning. A ball and 2 strikes to Jake Palmer. Harwich NYD. It is now 9-1 Brewster in the top of the 9th over Chatham. So looks like that's going to go final. We already have a final in the first game of a doubleheader from Spillane Field. Falmouth, in their first of 16 games in 12 days, beats Wareham 5-2. That second game of their doubleheader is scoreless in the top of the first. Tough stretch there for the Commodores. Orleans has 15 games in 12 days. They're leading the Bourne Braves 2-0 in the top of the third. could 2 it up 4-2 over Hyannis, looking to extend their Western Division lead over Wareham. They're up 4-2, top 5. And as I said, Brewster up 9-1 over Chatham, top of the 9th. That one should be final any moment. Top of the 7th here at White House Field. It's tied 1-1 between YD and Harwich. Palmer back to the plate. The bases are clear with 2 down. Fresh stick. Stewart from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Stewart sits down Jake Palmer, and YD gets 1 and evens things back up in the 7th. A Brad Beasley bomb to left evens the score at 3. 7th inning stretch time here at White House Field, bottom of the 7th. Coming up next, this is Cape Cod Baseball.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in Harwich, Massachusetts. The lights are on, still not taking too much effect as there is still plenty of blue sky here in Harwich this evening. Lamellae back out on the mound. First pitch to Hal Hughes is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. 3-3 our score here in the bottom of the 7th after Brad Beasley tied it on a mammoth solo shot. As Hughes pokes one into shallow center field. Campbell going out. Beasley coming in. It drops in between both of them. And another weakly hit ball that just has eyes, and it's a leadoff single for Hal Hughes, his 2nd hit of the day.
Really tough luck for Lamellae here. He's executing his pitches and just having weak pop-ups fall over the infield that there's nothing anybody can do about it. Just good luck for the Mariners right now.
So now top of the order, Daniel Cabrera on for his 4th at-bat. Grounded out to 2nd, struck out looking, and then walked. Lamellae on for his 2nd clean inning. Austin Wells once again bluffing the back pick. No throw, though. And it's 1-0. Tolman went 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And it's been Lamellae ever since. Now pitching with the runner on here in the 7th. That one misses off the plate inside, and it's 2-0.
Lamelle's got to stay in the strike zone, though, just because he's been giving up some hits. They aren't hit all that hard. Needs to keep creating that weak contact, and eventually he's going to get some outs here.
Interesting shift not to double play depth with Cabrera at the plate as he swings and misses through a fastball. It's 2-1.
Well, you wonder if a ball's hit to Riley King. Wyatt Young might be close enough to 2nd to turn the double play with King from shortstop.
Wyatt Young playing just to the right of 2nd base, left from our perspective, right from his perspective. 2-1 pitch from Lamellae is another big swing and a miss from Cabrera. And it's now even 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But that does then make it an interesting read for Young and King. If there's a ground ball to King's left, Young's right, does Wyatt Young go for the baseball or does he break to 2nd base?
2-2 pitch is just off the plate inside. Good take from Cabrera, and the count's full. Hal Hughes gets his lead off first. Payoff pitch. Down and in, and the first two runners reach. It's a walk for Daniel Cabrera.
That's what Lamellae can't do. It's okay if he's getting hit softly, but leading into this dangerous part of the order, 3, 4, and 5, Fedko, Wiemer, and Cavadas are there, especially big-time hitters. That's the part of the order you don't want to have runners on base for.
Chris Gallen now up at the plate. Got a pair of flyouts and a single in this one. Lamellae really needs a ground ball out here. It's a bunt. And the throw is late as Gallen beats it out down the line, and it's now bases loaded. Nobody out here for Harwich. So the bases are now loaded for Lamellae as all three have reached via a softly hit single, a walk, and then a well-placed bunt. And now the righty from St. Mary's finds himself in a lot of trouble, and Scott Pickler finds himself out of the dugout.
Tough outing for Lamellae. If that's the end of the road, it'll be interesting to see who Pick goes to. Normally his late inning guys are Carvajal and Dollard in close games. Might be Chase Walter actually coming out of the pen potentially for the Red Sox.
Does look like it's going to be the righty Chase Walter as Lamellae's day is done and is responsible for all three runners on first base. Tough spot for Walter to inherit. We'll see what he does on the other side of this break. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Tough spot here and a crucial point in this one. Chase Walter on with the bases loaded and nobody down. And we'll be facing Christian Fedko.
Number 21, Christian Fedko.
Walter's in there to get a strikeout right now. He's a strikeout guy, 8 already on the season for YD. He's in there to get some Ks.
First pitch to Fedko. In there for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Hal Hughes is on third. He led off the inning with a single. Daniel Cabrera at the top of the order followed that up with drawing a walk, and then Chris Galland reached on a perfectly placed bunt. And that's how we got here, as it's quickly 0-2 as Fedko chased the high fastball at the eyes.
I mean, if he connects with that, that's same spot as Brad Beasley's home run, but that ball might have been above the eyes. What a swing from Fedko. That was almost impressive that he got anything to that.
The infield is not in with the bases loaded and nobody out.
It is a little interesting. I think that really shows they think Walter can get a strikeout here.
Come set at the letters. The 0-2. Another foul ball. That one's back and over the merchandise stand just behind home plate. And the count holds.
Walter nodding his head out there on the mound. That's a good pitch that Fedko just ruined. Just dipped down, was able to get a piece of the bat to the ball and spoil it. Right in the low and outside part of the zone. He doesn't swing. He might be frozen for strike 3. But that's a tough pitch to make any contact with.
Still 0-2. Pitch to Fedko. That one dips down at the shins, and it's 1-2. Wind still continues to gust, and it is blowing from our backs here. Positioned just to the right of home plate, so definitely blowing out, and anything up in the air got a chance to carry. Big swing and a miss as Fedko goes down on the off-speed pitch. Good scoop there from Wells behind the dish to keep it there. And that's the big first out of the inning.
That's a great executed pitch by Walter and Wells, and good pitch calling as well. They knew Fedko was hunting fastball. You trust Wells to be able to block an off speed and execute it from Walter on the mound. That's a great job by YD, able to get that strikeout. And a lot went into that, setting up that breaking ball low.
So now the certified Red Sox killer, Joey Wiemer Jr., steps in with a big-time opportunity. First pitch to him is off the plate inside, and it's 1-0.
Wiemer, so the double play gets you out of the inning, but Wiemer's a tough guy to turn one on. He's really quick. It's going to take a really sharply hit ball and a great turn by the middle infielders.
Infield is at double play depth. Riley King plays even with the bag at first, as does Jack Wold. Walls comes set. 1-0 pitch just misses downstairs, and it's 2-0.
You said 89% humidity, huh?
89%.
I feel like we're in a cloud. It's just how humid it is out here right now.
2-0 pitch incoming. That one also misses, and it's very quickly 3-0 to Joey Wiemer Jr. A walk obviously hurts this YD team, but would give Harwich the lead here. He also can't afford to just leave one middle in, belt high, because Wiemer can take advantage. And that one is in the dirt. It's a 4-pitch walk, and Harwich will take the lead the easiest way possible. And it's now 4-3 as Hal Hughes strolls home.
After such a great executed first at-bat from Walter, he let that one get away. Was probably trying to be a little too cute with Wiemer, but just didn't execute any of his pitches nearly as well as he did with Fedko, which was really a clinic of how to go after a hitter. But now the big guy at the plate. This is a major at-bat with Cavadas and his extra base power.
Cavadas has the power, or if he catches up to a fastball, it could go a long way. First pitch is off speed, and that's now 5 straight balls off the right arm of Walter. Bases still loaded here, just one down. And it's now 2-0 as the wheels have fallen off very quickly here for Chase Walter.
Yeah, he's losing the command out there a little bit. And, yeah, that's going to cause a visit from Christian Wanders. I was thinking Wells might go out and talk to him, but Wanders will make the visit first. Normally when you throw 6 straight balls like that, there might be a small adjustment you can make just to try to fix what you're doing. Wanders just out there probably to reset, give Walter a breath out on the mound.
It's a weird feeling right now at the stadium as the wind is blowing. It's starting to get a little chilly, but it is still so muggy outside.
Yeah, it's just a weird weather. It was a beautiful night, but now it's just kind of weird weather out here. Brewster final over Chatham 9-1. So YD playing for a share of first place, and Harwich trying to stay 3 points up on the Whitecaps.
Skied into center field off the bat of Cavadas. Beasley will range underneath it. That figures to score a run. It's pretty deep. Both runners will advance. The throw comes into Wyatt Young. It squeaks under his glove. And we'll get all the way to Riley King, and it's now 5-3 Mariners.
That's a good job by Cavadas. Sack fly, gets the job done, able to plate Cabrera from third. And now runners on second and third, so not quite done yet. Good at bat by Cavadas, not trying to do too much, just knowing he had to elevate the pitch and was able to do it. And now it's a 2-run lead here. Both those runs going to be charged to Lamellae.
So Dylan Noisy, who's already got a home run to his credit this evening, steps in now with 2 down and 2 on. A chance to add some insurance. That one smoked into left center field, high and deep. And gone. Second shot of the day for Dylan Noisy, and all of a sudden, a 3-3 tie has become 8-3. It's a 5 spot for Harwich in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they have blown this one wide open here at White House Field.
Dylan Noisy, the player of the day. Second home run. He has 3 hits, 5 RBIs, 2 runs scored. I don't know where this came from. I don't think anybody expected this coming in from a 136 hitter with just 2 extra base hits on the season, and they were both doubles. Gets 2 balls to leave the yard today. It's a shocking one.
So it's gone from bad to worse here for YD in this half inning as Lamellae loads the bases, and then Chase Walter unable to slam the door after recording the strikeout to get them to out number 1. First pitch to Chris Lanzilli is downstairs for a ball, 1-0. It's Riley King, Jack Thomas Wold, and Carson Taylor due up in the top of the 8th inning as it's now 1-1. As the Red Sox have 6 outs to work with to try to mount this comeback. Big swing and a miss at the plate, and it's now 1-2.
Hard to come back against this Harwich team once. Whitey did it before. Going to be hard to do it a second time as well, and this time an even bigger deficit.
They did it a few games ago, coming back from a 4-1 deficit as that one shot foul and out of play. This Harwich pitching staff, one of the best on Cape Cod, top to bottom. Two and two the count. That one once again ripped foul and out of play. The 5 spot. Joe Boyle hasn't pitched since that appearance where he took the loss against YD, so you have to figure he's looming down in that Harwich dugout ready to go.
Yeah, but with a 5-run lead, they might not need him at this point. If they can keep it, he'll come in if it gets to 3 or 4. That home run range, you're bringing in Big Joe.
Two pitches upstairs, and it's now a full count to Chris Lanzilli. Payoff pitch incoming. Skied, and that one once again is headed our direction, but it's in the park. Wells is underneath it, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Harwich, though, blows it open here in the home half of the 7th inning. It's a 5 spot for the Mariners as they take the 8-3 lead. Just 9 hits in this one for Harwich, but 8 runs. They have blown it wide open. We head to the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Riley King leading off in the top of the 8th as the Red Sox offense now has a mountain to climb here with 6 outs to go as he looks at a ball downstairs 1-0. Just one defensive change as that one buzzes Riley King at the chin. As Christian Fedko's day is done as Corey Acton now takes over at second base. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. It's quickly 3-0 to Riley King. King entered the day .333, and his average has stayed right there as he's 1 for 3 on the day. .30 pitch is in there for a called strike at the top of the zone, and it's 3-1.
But his one hit was a little bloop over first. Hasn't swung it well, but hit nonetheless.
Big swing and a miss from Riley King, and the count now runs full.
Good cut, though, on a 3-1. Go ahead and try to drive one in the gap and get their alley started with an extra base hit.
Payoff pitch is skied foul into the trees over our head, and the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. All of a sudden, YD finds themselves down 5 runs after a 5-spot put up by the Mariners in the last half inning. Capped off by a 3-run home run off the bat of Dylan Noisy, his second home run of the day. He's got 5 RBI himself as Riley King trots down to first after earning the walk, and now Jack Thomas Wold steps in. He doubled in his last at-bat.
That's important to start a rally, get your leadoff man on. Great job by Riley King to work the deep at-bat and draw the walk.
Wold has been swinging a hot bat of late, 2 home runs. The double today was robbed of a hit in his last at-bat by a great catch from Chris Galland in the left field corner.
Feels like he is swinging it well. You're right, Andre. Just really locked in with the swing at the plate and in the game, just getting the barrel to the baseball.
A 1 pitch to Wold. That one misses well high and wide, and it's 1-1. Nick Stewart still on the mound. James Madison product. Now working comfortably with the lead as Wold swings and fouls it straight back to the screen, and it's 1-2. The final line on Lamellae, he went an inning and a third plus. 5 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, a walk and a strikeout. Wold steps back in. Behind in the count 1-2. The flags out in right center fielder blowing directly out. Certainly favors a guy like Jack Thomas Wold in the box.
Just got to elevate it right now.
The 1-2. Elevated, but to the left side down the line. And that one will be almost tracked down on an incredible diving play from Chris Galland, but he just quite couldn't get there.
Already robbed Wold once today, but just short this time.
The second life for the UNLV first baseman, as he once again steps back into the box behind 0-2. Riley King stands on first base after drawing the leadoff walk to begin this 8th inning. The 1-2. On the ground, left side. Cavadas to second for 1, over to first. That one just squeaks underneath the glove of Lanzilli, and Jack Wold would have beat it out anyway. And it's a fielder's choice. Wold replaces King on first.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, Wold is trying to poke it through the left side of the infield. I mean, he poked it to the left side, just right at Nico Cavadas, who made a good play and a good relay to second.
Number 22, the designated hitter from Virginia Tech, Carson Taylor.
Carson Taylor now steps in. 1 down here in the 8th. Whitey still down 8-3. First pitch to Taylor, in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. YD has out-hit Harwich in this one. 3 runs on 11 hits for the Red Sox, 8 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors for Harwich, and yet they find themselves with a 5-run cushion. Taylor aggressively swinging at the 0-1 and finds himself now down 0-2.
9 men left on base for the Red Sox, and just over half of those 5 were runners in scoring position that were left on base. Left runners on second and third in the first, left them loaded in the third, left a runner on second again in the fifth. That's 5 in scoring position, 9 total.
0-2 the count. Wind continues to whip through White House Field. Taylor skies it on the infield. Hal Hughes is underneath it. And he'll put it away for a harmless second out of the inning.
Whitey wants to have any hope of a comeback. Feels like they need to chip away and get something in this frame. Make it a 3 or 4 run game going to the 9th. And then maybe you don't see Joe Boyle. Maybe you do, but they definitely need to continue to chip away. But, man, this Harwich bullpen is lights out. Everyone in this bullpen. Stewart has been really, really good today.
It always feels like this team is in with the shout when a long ball can tie it up. But right now, down 5, that obviously can't happen. And so
the way the ball's jumping today, it's 4 home runs already between the two teams. You just got to get those runners get on base before a potential big one.
Tate Samuelson on to pinch hit for Ron Washington as he fouls the first pitch back to the screen, 0-1. Jack Thomas Wold still on first base. Oh, 1 pitch incoming. That's a breaking ball that stays high, and it's 1-1 to Tate Samuelson.
Tate Samuelson feels like a pinch hitter to extend the inning. He's got a home run on the season, but he's a guy who can get on base and is a singles line drive hitter, which is what you're looking for here, to then roll it over to the top, and then maybe you can really get something going with 2 outs with Young and Beasley.
1-1 pitch once again misses upstairs, and now Samuelson is ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's the goal right now. Get runners on base before you're 1 through 4. The bottom of the order, getting on base is a key for the Red Sox offense in general, not just tonight.
2-1 pitch is even higher upstairs. A little chin music there for Tate Samuelson. And it's now 3-1.
Because, I mean, you look at who has the hits tonight. Brad Beasley has a home run. Wyatt Young has a couple of hits. Austin Wells has a couple. Noah Campbell has 3. And then there are 3 hits throughout the rest of the 5 batters of the lineup. They haven't been able to get it done with runners on base today.
3-1 pitch is a fastball middle in, and the count's now full. And it does feel like one of those games that really was a bit of a struggle for YD earlier in the season, in that 1 through 4, 1 through 5 would play great, and then they really wouldn't get anything in the bottom half of the order. And it's really hard for this team to win games that way.
Yep, definitely. That bottom order is a key.
Payoff pitch is downstairs, and now it is runners on first and second now as Wyatt Young strides to the plate.
That's a great at-bat by Tate Samuelson. And quiet right now in the boat. Well, as soon as I say that, somebody's standing up and starting to stretch. Mound visit from catcher Patrick Winkle to talk to Stewart. Somebody's up in the bullpen for the Mariners. They realize that things can unravel quickly against the top of this order. They can string hits together in a hurry. Chip away. That's got to be 2 innings left. You got to get something here. Big at-bat for Wyatt Young right now.
So Wyatt Young at the dish. A couple of hits on the day. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in his last at-bat. Batting with 2 outs and 2 on, and what feels like an incredibly crucial at-bat for the Red Sox if they want to come back in this one. First pitch is high, and it's 1-0 to the Pepperdine man. Crowd is thinned out a little here at White House Field. The sun is all but set, and it's a bit of a haze over the crowd right now as we'll get a quick mound visit.
Looks like Connor Seckler up and throwing from Missouri State, the righty for the Mariners. So not Boyle yet, at least not at this moment tossing for Harwich.
Just feels more like a conversation, not an impending pitching change here.
Yep, no question. And Seckler just started throwing. He's just moving back to the full mound now, just some light tossing. Because then if Wyatt Young gets a hit here, then he really is going to start cranking it up. Maybe then Stewart faces Beasley, but Beasley is likely his last batter then. So this is definitely, Wyatt Young is definitely Stewart's. Depending what happens then and how quickly Seckler can get loose, every pitcher is a little different in that category. Then maybe you can go to him before Brad Beasley if Young extends the inning.
So for now, it's Wyatt Young looking to extend the frame for YD. Keep the line moving here, maybe driving a run. Jack Thomas Wold on second base with deceptive speed, so a ball in the gap could potentially score a run as that one's lined into the gap. And that one will be dropped as it was underneath. Noisy had a beat on it, but he was unable to snag it on the dive, and Jack Thomas Wold comes in to score. And it's a double for Wyatt Young. And it's now 8-4.
Wow, what an incredible effort by Noisy out there in center. Wyatt Young does his job, barrels it up, as he more often than not does. He's going to get his 6th double of the season right there as he goes to second base. And runners are on second and third now for Brad Beasley. So like I said, chip away, get it to Beasley, and now Seckler's really starting to get going in a hurry.
Beasley, of course, squared up the home run in his last at-bat. Right now, you can't be thinking big fly. Right now, it's just about keeping the line moving.
And Brad's not. That's not the type of hitter he is. He's
Absolutely.
a line drive guy, and when he happens to connect for a home run, great. But he's a line drive hitter.
2 big-time runs right now on second and third. First pitch to Beasley is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Tate Samuelson's on third. Wyatt Young stands on second base. Good speed on the back end. You have to figure a base hit would score too. That one's upstairs at the shoulders of Beasley, and it's 1-1.
Really impressive. You mentioned base hit probably scores too. Tate Samuelson moves well at third. He was on first on that hit to Noisy. After the dive, Noisy got that back to the infield really quickly. Samuelson might have had a chance to score, but couldn't.
Big swing and a miss. Beasley just out in front of the off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. And Beasley, the type of hitter that's going to give you a good at-bat, good contact hitter. Wise with 2 strikes and 2 outs. The 1-2. And he's down swinging on the off-speed pitch, and that'll end the inning. But YD does get a run back. It's now 8-4, but they do strand 2 in scoring position. That's been the Achilles heel tonight. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
For the Mariners, the catcher.
Bottom of the 8th inning here, 8-4 Mariners. Pat Winkle set to lead things off. Final line for Chase Walter. He won an inning, 1 hit, 2 runs. They were both earned. 1 walk and a strikeout is now Michael Weisberg on to relieve him. And his first pitch of the night is a ball downstairs, 1-0.
Lamellae, 4 of those runs are his. No, really, in that inning where there were 5 runs scored, I think there was 1 hard hit ball, and that was a home run.
That one just sneaks under the glove of Jack Thomas Wold. He's a little frustrated with himself, but he let that get through. And it's a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, he almost made a great diving stop on that one, but hard hit ball from Winkle.
So leadoff single
The shortstop from
for Pat Winkle, and Hal Hughes, the man that started off the 5-run inning in the last frame for the Mariners, steps in. He's got a pair of hits on the night. And if you look at this Harwich lineup tonight compared to the YD lineup, it's sort of the opposite story, with the exception of that 5-run inning, of course. But obviously, Dylan Noisy doing the brunt of the damage out of the 6-hole. But then you look farther down, Lanzilli's got a hit. Winkle's got now a hit. Hal Hughes with 2 hits in a run at the bottom of the order. So they got the production that YD was looking for in this one from the bottom half of the order, but didn't get. As that one skied into right center field. Beasley broke back, now comes in. And he dives and makes the catch. He broke back, and then the wind killed it in the air. Had to quickly adjust. He tweaked his route, came in, and made the play on the dive going to his left, and that's the first out of the inning.
You mentioned those bottom of the order numbers, Andre. You look at the full season numbers, though, the script has been flipped there. YD's bottom of the order has done a good job, and that's why their offense is one of the tops in the league. In the bottom of the order for Harwich has really struggled. I mean, the bottom 4 guys today have all really gotten it done. So props to them, but all 4 are hitting under 200.
That one is swinging bunt as Weisberg will field it and go to first. Wold snags it and then gets out of the way, and that's the second out of the inning. Pat Winkle advances to second.
number 36, the left fielder from Boston College, Chris Gallen.
So Chris Gallen now will step in. First pitch to Gallen is a check swing at the plate, but that'll drop foul. And it's 0-1. Runner on second base. Gallen at the plate. Weisberg looking to keep the deficit where it is, as the Red Sox have 3 more outs to work with in this one. With Chatham losing tonight, as it stands right now, as the 0-1 pitch misses downstairs, 1-1. Harwich will maintain the 3-point lead over Brewster as they look to secure the 4 seed in the East, and YD will fail to capitalize on the opportunity to move into a tie for first place.
We'll have that chance, but an opportunity here tonight for sure.
1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. It's a good breaking ball from Weisberg, and it's 1-2. It'll be Wells, Campbell, and Palmer. Due up. So that one's fouled back to the screen. And it's 1-2. Weisberg awaiting the sign from Wells. That one is absolutely rocketed into right center field, and that one's going to get all the way to the wall. A run will score. Palmer eventually fields it and gets it in. And it's an RBI double for Chris Gallant.
Third hit of the day for Gallons. First RBI. It's a double into the gap. Great job by him just crushing the ball from Weisberg up and in the middle of the zone. Was able to do a good job getting his barrel to it and hammering it. Pick's already out of the dugout. Looks like Weisberg's day might be done after just 2 short outs.
So Weisberg unable to get out of the 8th unscathed as he allows Harwich to get the run back that YD swiped in the top of the 8th inning. He gives way. Can't see who the new pitcher is just yet, but we'll tell him all about who he is on the other side of this break. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning as the new pitcher for YD is Gordon Ingebrigtsen, who will look to limit the damage to just the 1 run allowed. He faces the new second baseman Corey Acton in the dish as his first pitch is in there for a called strike 0-1. Harwich got 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, 5 in the 7th, and 1 here in the 8th. YD has scored singular runs in the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the 8th, as it's quickly 0-2 to Acton. O2 pitch on the way from Ingebrigtsen. Chop foul at the plate right towards us. Just to the left of our crowd, Mike.
I'm locked to the chair. I would have had it.
Yeah, there's been a few that, had they gotten to us, Brian, I think we would have really been able to make plays on.
Yeah, for sure. One pop-up earlier that fell just a few feet in front of us that Pat Winkle made the catch on. I was hoping that was getting over the fence. I want redemption after I dropped one the other day, one-handed. I didn't put down the scorebook.
They're going to let Chris Gallant swipe third there as it's now 1-2.
You and TJ were on the call. It was at home, sitting out on the porch off to the right, pop up right there. Had a play on it, holding the scorebook in my left. Went for it with just the right instead of setting down the scorebook and using both hands. Fully confident I would have made the grab with both hands there, but I need redemption.
You know what? I respect the confidence there for going for the one-handed play.
I went after it.
As Acton goes down swinging there. So Ingebrigtsen comes in and does his job, gets YD out of the inning. They need 5 to tie, 6 to take the lead. As we head to the top of the 9th, just 3 outs to work with to make that happen. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the ninth inning, and for YD, if you want to start a 5-run rally, this is the guy you want leading off the inning in Austin Wells as he steps in already with the solo home run to his credit. First pitch to him is down and in off the right arm of Connor Seckler, and it's 1-0.
Have to imagine Boyle is available if needed, but
that one is absolutely tomahawked to right field, but it goes foul. Had to stand up to track that one down into the corner, but
tough from our vantage point for that one, to say the least.
In the end, it's just a loud strike one, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 offering to Wells is inside, brushes him back just a bit, and it's 2-1. 2-1 pitch is fouled back and out of play, and it's 2-2. It's Wells, Campbell, and Palmer due up here in the ninth. As Wells has worked the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Always going to get a good at-bat from Austin at the plate, regardless of the situation, but YD needs some base runners.
That one is skied into center field. It's pushing Noisy back all the way to the wall, and he was carrying, but he eventually makes the play just in front of the 400 sign out there in center field.
Not an easy play. Wells gave it a ride to deep center. Noisy made a nice running turnaround kind of catch over his head. That's a fine play.
Noah Campbell now steps in, 1 down here in the ninth. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. It was a good, decent outing in relief for Nick Stewart. Went 3 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch misses just off the plate inside, and it's 1-1.
Barring a comeback, he's probably going to get the win. So that's good job for Nick Stewart. He was really, really good tonight.
Campbell skies it foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch misses downstairs. Campbell takes, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss as Campbell swings through the fastball, and that's the second out of the inning. YD down to their final out.
First time Noah hasn't reached base today. 3 hits, reached on an error as well. Still a really good day for a lot of these guys at the top of the YD lineup. It's just shocking that they were only able to push across 4 runs the way that this group has swung the bat at the top today.
Andrew Eister will now pinch hit for Jake Palmer as he strides to the plate representing YD's final out. First pitch to Eister misses just wide, and it's 1-0. Seckler out of the windup, delivers the 1-0 just downstairs, and it's 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Skied foul straight back and out of play, and it's 2-1. Home plate umpire Rick Emerson collects a few new baseballs. 2-1 count to Eyster. Seckler looking to close the door. Big swing and a miss, and it's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eyster steps back in, awaits the 2-2 pitch. Seckler set at the chin. Kicks and deals. Chop foul towards Scott Pickler.
Make a play, Pick.
Opted to try to get the kick save there.
No, I think he was just hurdling it. Wanted no part of that one. Someone in the bullpen made the play for the Mariners, but Pick's looking like TJ down the third base line, jumping out of the way.
Two-two to Eyster. Seckler on the way. Another foul ball, and Eyster's in a good battle. Still 2-2 the count to Eyster. Yes, he did, says Rick Emerson, and that's how this ball game ends. Harwich explodes late offensively to secure the 9-5 victory. Excuse me, 9-4. As a 5-run inning proves to be the difference for the Mariners in this one. And in the end, Brian, if you look at the context of this game, the thing that looms largest for YD has to be the runners left on base. You had the bases loaded in the first, bases loaded in the third, and they only pushed across 1 run in those 2 innings. That really set the tone.
No question. You got to capitalize early on those opportunities. You can't leave 8 men in scoring position with 2 outs. They just did not play well with runners in scoring position. That's a massive bug. Wow. That thing was gigantic.
I have no idea what that was, but I wanted no part of it.
I thought it was pretty cool. But Andre was out of here. But tough game, runners in scoring position for the Red Sox. They leave 11 on base total. Just really rough swinging the bats with men on base. Couldn't get it done today.
And on top of that, it was a solid outing from Eric Tolman on the mound. Set them up, put them in a position to win. But then, once again, as has been the story for a lot of this season, bullpen couldn't keep it close, and it ended up escalating out of control.
Tough luck for Carlos Lamellae and Chase Walter, really, because Lamellae got hit around when you look at the scorebook, but it was 4 or 5 bloops that fell, and then Chase Walter came in and honestly did a pretty good job putting out the fire until the long home run from Noisy that just cleared the wall. Tough luck on those 2. The only hard hit ball of the inning was off of from Noisy. So tough luck for the bullpen tonight. Felt like they deserved better for once, but really tough one for YD. I'm putting this more on the offense than anything on the pitching staff.
Rough night overall for YD as they will drop this one as they fail to capitalize on the fact that Chatham, ahead of them in the standings, lost tonight. Red Sox are in action once again tomorrow as they begin a quick 2-game homestand sandwiched around the All-Star game on Sunday. The last game before the All-Star game will be tomorrow at Red Wilson Field as the YD Red Sox take on the Brewster Whitecaps once again. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday night. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm Andre Sims. We will see you at Red Wilson Field tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in.